Well, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Monday Night with Meghan O. That's me, just so you know.
Yeah.
So I am really excited to be here tonight because if you only knew how long I have been trying to get tonight's guest on tonight's show.
Okay.
When I tell you this person that we are about to have a wonderful conversation with tonight is like hard to get in contact with. He's
No,
like
I'm
worse
not.
than the president.
No, I'm not.
Can
Why
you
are
believe that?
Why are you doing that?
Because the conversation tonight is about to be one where someone who their entire life has been in front of the world. I mean, the entire world from the age of 12 years old. I'm talking about media personality. I'm talking about amazing artist. I'm talking about a St. Louis legend already and in the making that's an icon here in the Lou
Right.
that has traveled, done radio all over the nation
Speak
on
on it.
106 in Park. And just to know that is just the beginning.
Speak
I
on it.
am looking forward to finding out what's coming up next. So on tonight's show on Hello Meghan O, we have Shorty Da Prince, aka Reggie's son. Hola.
Yeah, second motherfucker, son. You gotta know it.
You know
What's
it.
happening? What's the word?
Oh my gosh. It
What's
is
the word?
such a pleasure to have you
Well,
tonight.
you know what? Thank you. And I'm not like hard to get in contact with. It's just the scheduling. It ain't like you hit me and I don't like we.
Oh no, you respond all right.
There we go. That's what I'm
5
saying.
days later. But I can't talk
Okay.
because I'm like 6 days later. So hey, I get it.
You know,
But
I
I mean,
respond.
it'd be like that though.
But you know, we got a good dynamic,
We
man.
do.
You know you my girl, man.
do.
For
We
a
do.
while, man. It's been like that.
But you know what though, Shorty? I feel like it has to take people who really understand how fast life can go
Yeah.
to understand that. I don't know about you, but I think that what I'm about to say you can probably relate to.
Okay.
You blink and look up and it's a whole week later.
Facts. It
Like-
can be
like
like
for
that.
real.
Yeah, it can be like that unless you waiting on it to be a week later. Then it's like,
Right, it be going
Huh.
slow.
you
It
know?
does.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
you have been doing, I mean, since this pandemic, you have been doing a lot, you know, and
Yeah.
since the pandemic, you know, a lot of people have been dealing with a lot where keeping your sanity has been kind of a challenge, right?
Yeah.
But you have been uplifted. How have you been?
I've been good, man. I just I put some up the other day. Like ever since I tuned my dial to just give out love and optimism and all that, that's all I receive, and
Yeah.
that's all I really open myself to. You know, I don't give anything else any attention, and it's been working for me, and it's been beautiful. And you know, I like got out on my own at a young age, and was like every city I went to, like, you know, made some good relationships, but I mastered like the loner thing.
Yeah.
So
yes.
it's like when quarantine hit, it was like,
Hey, why did I love it though?
yeah, it's
I
like
ain't gonna front.
that's what I'm saying. Like I do this, like I do this,
Yes.
like I'm cool with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm good with me. So
Because
yeah.
your whole, like I said, your whole entire life has been given to everybody else. How have you found time for yourself? Like,
Oh, I do. You make it.
You
know what I'm
have
saying?
to.
You gotta make time for. I mean, everybody make time for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I always. I mean, you can always tell everybody like you can't pour out an empty glass. So I have no problem saying no.
okay.
You know, if I don't feel right about something, I don't feel right about it. I don't do it. Like, and now I'm to the point like when you cross a certain age and amount of experience where like you don't question it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you'll still be in an atmosphere or a setting where it's like, I don't know if this feel right, but you stay there just to figure it out. But it's
Facts.
like I know for certain.
And
like
wasting
if
your
I,
time.
Yeah, if I got a question, it's a wrap.
But I know that had to come with years of experience,
sure.
though. Because
For
I know
sure.
in the beginning at 12 years old, good thing you had your parents, though.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
probably would have been saying yes to every damn thing.
I mean, they did for
Okay.
a while. You know, my parents.
Yeah.
You know, and now as I get older, you know, I think they got thrown into a realm that they wasn't ready for either.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they was learning as I was learning the game. They was kind of learning how to raise a kid.
Literally.
And yeah, my parents real old school mentality. You know, so it was a process, and but I mean full support and getting me where I needed to be, and you know, sometimes like standing on stuff like that. Like I remember. You know, I was raised off certain morals and values, and they still, you know, it was like they stood on that for real. Like one time I got pulled off the radio a weekend because like I had like a bad report card.
What? Were you hurt? I know you were hurt.
Yeah, like, and I'm just sitting there looking at the radio like, damn, I'm supposed to be on
That's my shit
there.
putting in. You mad at somebody
Damn.
covering for you? Don't you mess up my slot now.
know?
I need them ratings.
And like, just imagine, and so I was kind of embarrassed too, because I'm like, I was probably like 13, 14 at the time, but it's like, you know, I got my pops calling my PD. Like, yeah, he can't do the show.
Yeah.
Because this nigga don't know how to act. I'm like, oh, shit. You know what?
You get to work the next day.
Yeah, get it together. After that, like, it didn't happen no more. So,
yeah, and then speaking of that, like, and I keep mentioning the fact because your whole entire life has literally been in front of everybody. So that means all your victories also come failures.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that was on me. And I mean, like, learning it because I realized when I was younger, like, I was kind of like chasing fame.
Yeah.
Like, and not knowing it at the time, but just like looking on TV and saying, damn, I want to be there.
Yeah.
Or seeing a crowd of people and say, like, me, like, it wasn't a crowd that I didn't want to entertain.
Okay.
Small, big, whatever. Like, I knew, put me on that stage or whatever. Like, I want that. Like, give me that. You know what I'm saying? But just like with everything else, it's like it's stuff behind that.
Absolutely.
You know, like you see you see, even with Instagram stuff like that, like you see glimpses of people's lives, but you don't really know what comes. So, you know, so I was in front of people because I wanted to be. And then when I start being able to see behind certain curtains, it's like, oh, okay, I think I want something deeper than this. Like, it ain't just, you know, it ain't just fame. It's like I want something to give me fulfillment. So that's the point I'm at in my life right now. But I'm thankful for every step.
Absolutely.
I did go through a phase where I was like trying to erase certain things or like, you know. But now, man, I mean, every single step, man, I'm just grateful.
Yeah. And especially it's like, you know, because with working in radio, which we both understand that, and working in it for so long, you know, where it starts to become where it's a part of the identity that others have about you. Because on radio, you can't curse. You can't say bitch, damn, motherfucker. You can't say none of that, right? But low key, outside of the mic in the studio on commercial radio, it's like, you when you were in the studio, not that you were being fake, you had to tone it down and be PG version.
Yeah, I mean, well, shit, my ass.
Shorty was a whole different breed in radio, y'all.
Yeah, I used to kind of be in that, but you know, it's like, hey, people, you know, that's one thing about me is like I wasn't somebody who like went to school for radio and got trained on how to, you know, it was like I literally like just threw my person, and I was a young cocky little nigga, so it was like me being on the air was just me talking shit a lot of times.
Absolutely.
I mean, I cussed on the air before and was like, ooh, or, you know.
FCC.
You know, I've been in those scenarios, but it's like people relate to it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like I never was like I was always unorthodox. You already know, like even with my story and just like how I did things, and that's by like being inspired by listening to people like Chaos and Silly Ass.
Absolutely,
and them.
man, they
You
were
know
the
what I'm
best
saying?
to like be,
you know?
to work with them. And Tony J, rest in heaven,
peace,
like,
man. Rest in peace, yeah, for sure.
Like,
so it was like I feel like I got the greatest like era of inspiration
for real
through radio, because I mean it's shifted a whole lot now, but it's just like being able to hear them just do stuff, crazy stuff, like damn, like. I'm talking about sometimes crossing the line, but you know, just going like right to it, man. You got to push that envelope.
Has anybody ever wrote like a letter to the station about you? Man,
listen,
right?
I used to. Shit, man. No, I used to have this, man. I used to have this this girl who like her and her whole family was like tapped into me on another level. This was like MySpace days.
I'm done. Oh, not MySpace. Were you on Black Planet? I'm sure.
Black Planet too,
yeah.
Okay. But she used to like, her family used to like send boxes to the station, but had never met her before. But you know, and then like her mom, it got weird.
Were you and her like the same age though?
Yeah.
She
was like probably like a year younger than me, and then she had the same last name as me already.
So look, in her mind, y'all married.
Oh, it was like
y'all
she like
married.
even like my girlfriend at that time, like she was like writing threatening messages to my girlfriend.
Stop it.
To the point where my girl, like, I'm like, yo, I never met this girl. And her mom used to call the station. Like one time her mom called the station and was like, yeah, I want you to take her virginity.
Not the mama is just as crazy as the daughter.
Yeah. But what's crazy, you know what really tripped me out about the whole thing?
I'm done. I've never heard no story like that.
Yeah, what really tripped me out, it was like online, usually with catfishes or stalkers and stuff like that, it'd be like unappealing.
Yeah.
This girl was fine.
I'm done. So you were a little intrigued.
Fine. I was a little intrigued. I was a little intrigued.
So were you trying to take the mama offer just a little bit? Maybe?
No, I was just like, yo, that's because me. I'm just like, there's no way that you real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then like one day they fucking like popped up in St. Louis, like the whole family.
And you already know sometimes when you would be out on location, that's when the real people would pop up on
Yeah.
you. That would be people who remembered your breaks. Like,
Yes.
wait a minute, I forgot I said
yes,
that.
like everyone, yeah. But she popped
What?
up, and I remember D Stone called me like, Shorty, just want to let you know
Don't
before
go
you
in the
get
lobby.
here.
Don't
like,
go use the bathroom.
No, they was up. They let them up. They was in the studio.
No, they set you up for that one.
They was in the studio. They was in the studio. And I walked in. When I saw her, my only thought was like, oh, damn, you really fine. Like, it's really, like, you know, but I didn't think about how crazy everything. I was just like, oh, you a real
I can
person.
actually look past that,
Yeah,
baby.
like, yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, my stories were definitely not like that. Mine were, I would
Yeah.
say radio stories were more so like, you know, just weirdo guys, like at remote.
You got a lot of letters from jail and stuff, didn't you?
I did, and the phone calls from jail. Oh my gosh, and like, yeah, like flowers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I will never forget. Me and Stacy, we had a dude who would always send us a basket, right? And we would just be like, Mama Jackie, you can have whatever you want from this basket because
Yeah.
we're not taking it home.
Yeah.
And he would put dumb stuff in it. Like, you remember back in the day when people would get like, they would go to the club and get the roses, not from the
Yeah.
Rose Man though, because they would be kind of like lace panties
Okay.
made into like the rose.
Okay.
I know, right? And like he
Lace
gave
panty
us-
roses.
Yes, yes. And
Penny
like
rose.
spam in a can.
Okay.
Exactly. And like M&M bags. Like, I don't know what kind of stuff he was thinking
It's like
of.
random.
Randoms. Like, who is finna eat spam in a can? Like, it was stuff like that that would like go on. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
like weird people would be in the parking lot. So like we would have Steve come walk us out to our cars because
Oh.
yeah, it would be weird stuff like
the
in
ones,
the parking
the
lot.
ones
like
who was
that.
in the parking lot for me wasn't like weird. It was like ex-girlfriends and stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see
I
that.
used to have to deal with stuff like that.
And how is that? Because especially with you, I mean, now it's probably a different ballpark. But
Yeah.
again, you've lived your
Way.
entire life in
Yeah.
front of the world. How was it with like relationships? Because you come from a wonderful family. Like,
Yeah.
much love to your parents who
For sure.
literally just celebrated over 30 years, like
yeah,
roughly
like
40.
36. Yeah.
Roughly
for
40
sure.
years of marriage, which, woo, ain't no telling how young they were when they got together and the stories that they have.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's one of those. You know how you say, who you know parents were still married. Like I was that friend. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
example. So that was dope, man, to be able to see it. And what's crazy is people be tripping out like when I say things like me seeing that may be the reason why I might not even get married. It's crazy.
Why is that? Okay, why is that? Because he just took my whole idea to a whole different level. Because I
Yeah.
was thinking, like, how does that resonate? Because especially with you being a man and like all the women that would come to you, especially like in you know, you being Shorty, aka
Right.
Reggie's son.
Right.
You've been on 106 in Park. You've been in radio in Detroit. You've been in DC, right?
Yeah, DC is one of my favorite
You've been
spots,
all on the East Coast. I mean, everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you know, being able to finally get in a relationship and like stick to it, and then you having the morals and the values and the respect when it comes, it's funny to hear you say that. Why?
Well, just because, you know, you got to think my parents been married for 30-some years, and they also, like, I don't want to say, like, old, but they're a little older. Like, you know,
Okay.
my parents in their 60s. So you got to think automatically it's a lot of things that relationships include now that they didn't have to deal with at all. You get what I'm saying? So, like, it's impossible to have a relationship now that doesn't include or have something to do with social media.
Absolutely.
It's impossible. My parents never had to deal with that.
They didn't. I feel like their love life like was different because it'll be outside factors that come and mess up factors this way, and you be like,
For
I
sure.
swear I'm not tripping over that.
If you watching this, like I dropped a song called Find Me, all right? And it really just talks about that. Like the whole premise of the song and the video was like I interviewed 4 couples.
I remember that.
Yeah, that been married for, you know, my auntie and them, my mama, a pastor from our church, who been married over 30 years, just ask them questions like, ask my mama like, hey, you ever called daddy anybody DM?
What's a DM?
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
They
my
would write
mom
love
and
letters
dad
back
been
then.
married like 30 plus and shit. I be like, how can us or how can we? Because I know back then they ain't have no IG, more privacy, and it was probably harder to go through his beeper when he's
Yes,
sleeping. And they
yes.
probably learned each other through actual conversation and not just texting. And have more patience because I couldn't see what time that you read my message.
There we
and
go.
we ain't beefing because I ain't post you or about to wrote you. Privacy way too social. Y'all niggas way too nosy. You know what I'm saying?
They are.
Like, love is exhausting. Freedom is awesome. Feel like you had me, then when you lost me. young, difficult nigga. I'm still trying to figure me out. I keep me a combination, keep it safe, but nothing feel better than home plate. Still, I gotta have me my own place. I need my own space. Footy hold that when my bro say I could never be lonely. Like it just goes in, but it's just basically saying like the stuff that they didn't have to deal with. They attribute some of that has to go into why they made it that long.
Of course.
So
I
like
think so
now,
too.
like I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how I can be in like, you know, I'm not saying I won't get married.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like my respect for theirs is so high, and I've seen how they make it work. So that's my example to where if I don't have one that can coexist like that, I'll be like, I don't feel like I gotta force that to happen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Now, do you feel that it would be easier for you to date somebody who's in the industry because they understand, or do you feel that that can sometimes get in the way because they understand too much?
Man, I've dealt with both. You know, I've dealt with, but also at different points in my life too.
Okay.
So I don't want to make it seem like, you know, I've done adolescent things, you know, I've done immature things, you know, but also it's like a balance, because what's crazy is like I could say I don't want nobody who do what I do or who's in the industry, because everybody wants somebody that might be like low key or out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, somebody who low key and out the way and don't have that type of lifestyle might not understand. You know?
Yes.
So it's like now I just like kind of like pour into self.
You have to. You have to.
Right now, you know what I'm saying, and you know, that's just where I'm at right now. I don't know what the future gonna hold, but yeah, man, it's trial and error, just like everything else. You know what I'm saying? So you figure it out as you go along, and I think the number one thing though that like people need to do is like kind of everybody approach relationships with this picture that they have in their mind, and they try to get that person to fit that mold instead of like learning the person. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you approach me and it's like, okay, I want my life to look like this, and you will be perfect because I want you to do it, instead of like learning me and what it looked like with me and erase that picture. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you got to approach it and learn the person you with, and then build off of that. Everybody got their own little views of how they want shit to go, and it just don't.
Yeah, and then the flaws, you start to realize, like, are you willing to get past the flaws? Like,
Right.
you know, all that type of stuff.
I love them though. Like I love that, like people flaws and stuff. I mean, I love everything that make you. Like show me you. You get what I'm saying?
Sometimes that stuff can
Like
be a little scary now.
Yeah,
You
but I'm
be
saying
like,
like, but show me you, and us as men, we got to be better with that too, because like. Shit, you show me you from the jump, I show you me from the jump. We can learn early off whether it is gonna be or not. You get what I'm saying? As opposed to like us hiding and lying to each other for years, and then 4 or 5 years down the line, it's like, well, this is who I really am. This is who I really am. It's like, well, I don't like you.
I know. I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah.
And then, like, one thing that I admire about you is, like, your home team. Because
Yeah,
you
for
have
sure.
friends that you have been cool with since forever.
Damn right.
And one thing that I think is so dope is that you always come back. I wouldn't even say come back, but you've always brought them along the way throughout your journey. You've
Yeah, they hit that
always
road,
have
yeah.
been right. They've been right here to your left and to your right there and in the back. Like, you've always shown love to them.
Yeah.
But what has it been like sometimes? Because sometimes you had to leave your friends behind in order to get to where you're going to come back. Was that a struggle, especially sometimes when the journey that you're going on in life requires you to be by yourself?
Well, anybody that has ever been my real friend is still there.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like when you grow, just like a flower or something, like petals gonna fall. You know what I'm saying? So, and certain people only in your life for seasons.
Facts.
And that don't mean that, you know, our friendship was fake or none. That just mean during that time it served this purpose, and everything ain't meant to be forever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, anybody that's ever felt the way about me having to be by myself or her or whatever, and then, you know, you ain't, because you will understand. If you know me, you know, if I could, I would, any situation.
That's
like,
right.
you know, I've had, you know, I mean, it's evidence on YouTube from like when I was performing at when Murph and them opened up for Lil Wayne here.
What year was that?
This was probably like 2008.
Okay, because I'm going to say this was like a while ago. I remember that.
This was when like Wild 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 was at like
I know.
You know?
I know.
And
that was the time of that time frame.
Yeah,
like,
that
just
time
taking
frame,
it back
man.
to like '07 to about
Yeah.
2010. Really old. Well, I graduated in '03, so really like
Okay.
'03. Okay.
03.
So really like '03 to like 2010. I feel like St. Louis, even music before 2003, like St. Louis was just at a beautiful peak here.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah,
I mean,
follow.
especially but you also got to look at like when you look at stuff like that, you got to look at also where you were in your life, right?
Facts.
Because if you was to try to go back and do the same stuff you was
I'm
doing
good.
then,
I don't even want to go back.
you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you know, it's a different time. It's what's occurring, and then it's like what's happening in your life at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like the timing of it, and also the timing, because sometimes you do that. You're like, man, you know what? Let's do that. You remember how we used to goddamn eat 2-3 club jam?
So I
Ain't
used
no
to board
way.
up on overnights, so I feel like I missed out on life. And all my
You
friends
used
were
to
going to
step
the
out. You
Beano.
never
No, I've
stepped
never
out?
been to the Beano way in the back. I've never
Oh.
kicked it at the Beano.
Like Onyx or Rio or nothing like that?
No, because I was bored. Like, so my shift was 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. And then
Every weekend?
every Friday, Saturday. So I feel like my whole 20s like was just ripped from me.
Oh, okay.
No, for real, because I got in radio at 21, and I never snuck in a club besides twice before 21. So I feel like
Really?
I'm for
I
real.
was in the club before 21.
Not me. I feel like I missed out. I went to the minor on the 18-year-old side.
Oh,
Period.
yeah.
And Rum Jungle,
Okay.
I went to Rum Jungle.
All right.
Tequila Wild. Those were the two clubs. I know, right? Those were the two clubs I snuck in.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know, but it was definitely a time though. But I was
It
saying,
was.
like, even like during that performance,
Yeah,
like,
go back to that
they
one.
rushed the stage, and it was like I knew because we were such a part of like why that record was because of how we was moving. So
Facts.
even like Murph, like security tried to stop me, like let him like
Well, bye.
15, 20 niggas on stage, you know, right? But
Where was the concert at?
At Chaffetz.
Okay. Wow. And that was probably when Chaffetz first opened also.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, man. So I mean, like I said, my real ones. It's to the point where like my friends who've been there forever is like family. You know, so it's either like you family or whatever. I mean, everybody. I don't be looking for like new friends and them, but
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And do you find yourself, especially because again, you're in front of everybody. So people think you're an extrovert, but are you really like an introvert though?
Yeah, I'm a introverted socialite.
Got you. I like that.
You know
That's
what I'm
so
saying?
dope.
Yeah. So like when the camera on or whatever, let's go. Let's do what we gotta
Mm-hmm.
do. But then like after that, I'm roll me a doobie. I'm being the cut. Like I'm like.
Okay, where's
if
Khalifa?
Like if I step out somewhere just to like go, maybe I want to catch a vibe or have some with me or whatever like that. You might not even know I'm in the building.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I'm either in the cut ducked off or the light on me because I got paid to
Being
be
you.
here.
Yep,
and
you
it's-
get paid to be
you know what
there.
I'm saying? And it's so it's I'm both of them. Like I can operate in both spaces, and I've learned to like I think one of the biggest things in life is balance.
That's right.
So you know,
Yeah.
just balance it out.
Yeah. So okay, let's go back into being out in the forefront. Okay.
Okay.
What were some of like your real most embarrassing moments? Like, have you ever had a moment where like you failed? Have you ever had a moment like? For me, one of my most embarrassing moments I will never forget, you could not tell me I was not sophisticated, okay? On radio that day,
Okay.
right? I was on
Okay.
with Demetrius Johnson. I swear, y'all, I was reporting a good-ass story, okay?
Yeah.
And I have a thing where I am a great speller, but sometimes when I pronounce the words, they're wrong.
Okay.
So, Tucson, how is that word pronounced?
Tuscan leather, like leather.
I said, well, I thought it was like, is
You
it
said
Tucson?
Tuc.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, like Tucson, like the city.
I said Tucson, right? So you could not tell me I was so sophisticated. And this lady called me and like cursed me out. She went off
What?
on Demetrius Johnson. He cursed her out.
What?
Now, mind you,
Just
you know
'cause
his
you
show be
said
live.
Tucson wrong?
Yeah, no, Tucson. Yeah. I
yeah.
said Tucson. But that was like one of like a million quadrillion
And you was
embarrassing
embarrassed
moments.
because of that?
I mean, it was kind of one of them where it was like I like
Oh, you like
got
winning
little,
your
and then I
shit?
was like, girl, you got me messed up, bitch. I'm here.
Hold the fuck up.
Yeah. So that was like one of like a really embarrassing moment. But like, what about you?
I mean, I've had a lot, man, to be honest. Like, but I just roll with stuff. I'm trying to think of one specifically. I remember one time when I first started on air, I was probably like 14, 15, or something like this,
Okay.
right? And we played like a Ghetto Boy song.
I'm done. Okay. Which one?
And I don't know.
do.
It was no, it
Not
wasn't
that
nothing like
one.
that. It was
Okay.
it was one I didn't know.
Okay.
So
And you on the radio, so you.
I was on the air, right? So I'm thinking it's a new song.
I'm done. They like, boy, this boy from the 90s.
You know, so I'm like, that's that Ghetto Boys. I don't know if y'all feel that or not. I don't know how I feel about them.
Yeah,
And people
they
calling,
flamed you.
yeah,
They
is calling,
flamed
yeah,
you.
they is calling, man. You don't know nothing about that, young get you, yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
it be
man.
the
But I mean,
moments.
I had moments where, you know, me and when I used to bring T-Rail up to the studio, we was arguing or something, and I'm like, hold on, all right, fuck you, hold on. And I do the break, and then we go back to arguing. Bitch,
You kept the mic on.
and the mic was still on, all over the commercials.
See, I ain't never did that one.
Yeah,
Not over
that
the
one.
commercials. People were turning it up like,
Yeah,
hold
like
on,
Skrill,
hold
like
on.
Skrill call hit that hotline. Y'all tripping, cuz like damn.
time.
But yeah, man. I mean, I've had probably like countless, you know,
Absolutely.
like whatever. But
Absolutely.
you gotta just keep it pushing
You do.
because I mean, shit happen to everybody.
Literally,
So,
literally.
You know,
What is the importance of power of having a mentor? Even now.
yeah. I mean, you know, you can't do it by yourself. You know, you can't. It's gonna be that much more difficult, and then that's gonna make you get even more in your head. I mean, just having somebody to talk to and just guide you because, you know, same way like with you got kids. It's like you can tell them, hey, don't touch that because I've touched that before and I know it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like having somebody who walked that path, and they might not do it the same way you do it, but they can kind of give you things that you can take and adjust it to, you know. So I've had plenty of mentors and people who just along the path just like giving me game or just having conversations like this.
Yeah.
And somebody say something and be like,
And it
damn,
sticks.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah. So I remember things are just like, you know, ever since I was younger, man, just, so I mean, it's important just to have somebody, in your corner, period. And then also somebody.
And to give real feedback and not worry about if you're hurting my feelings or not.
Right.
Because a lot of times, I know that you've experienced that too, where it's like, don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need.
For sure. But it's like nowadays, you know, you get instant everything. You get instant critique. You get
Literally.
instant, you know, so you gotta approach stuff with like a certain belief and a faith that can't be wavered.
Right.
Based on the critique. You get what I'm saying? Because now it's almost to a point where like ain't no real right or wrong.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you can't really call whether this is going to be that or not because it's up to the people.
I know. And that's
You know what I'm
so
saying?
weird. Like,
Yeah.
where it's like now we're living in a time where it's like, you still think about what it is that you want.
Yeah.
But then it's like you still got to somewhat think about, okay, but what is it that they need? What is it that I know? Because God blessed us to be in this position for a reason. This was not a mistake. So then you start thinking about, okay, yeah, this is what I like, but what does our community need? So let's get into, especially with you being a black man, right? And being a public figure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, still dealing with the harsh reality of being a black man and having a lot on your shoulders, and still being Reggie's son, like still
That's what
being
I'm saying.
Jordan.
So that's
like,
what I'm saying. If you're going to be somebody in my life, like, be my release, baby. It's already hard.
somebody's having a moment. Whoever the lady that he's interested in, can you just be right for him, please?
Like,
Because he's having a moment.
Don't add on to the shit that's all like the bullshit gonna come, baby.
But at the same time, we are flawed, okay? So at the same time,
Oh.
we're trying to live through this crazy ass world.
But that's what I'm
too.
saying. Like, I make it easier on you. You make it easier on me. How about that?
But sometimes that stuff can be kind of one of them where you hear stuff about yourself and you be like,
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. But I mean, I
damn,
don't know.
it's
Like,
more to the list?
like I very much take care of self.
Yeah.
Like, you
What
know,
does
I
take
don't
care of self mean, though?
like I'm going, you know, I don't go 2 days without starting my day with meditation and stretching and showing gratitude.
So when you meditate, let's talk on that a little bit.
Okay.
Because everybody, I feel like when people say meditating, for somebody, because you may be somebody who's watching and be like, I'm interested in meditating, but it can seem very foreign. And, you know, do I just sit there in silence?
Yep.
But what people don't understand is I don't care how much long you've been meditating, it could be 30 years of your doggone life. When you sit down, it is completely normal for you to have all these thoughts come in your mind. That's
sure.
natural. That's what your mind does, is it's fighting to do all these things. But to be able to shut your mind down is definitely a challenge always, every time you sit down. What does meditating look like to you? Like, do you play guided meditations?
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, sometimes it's like affirmations, sometimes it's silence, sometimes it's smooth jazz music, sometimes it's ocean sounds,
Facts.
rain sounds, you know. One of these things that I read that kind of helped me when I'm like overthinking is like to actually think of the word think.
Yeah.
Like while I'm meditating, like let that word think. So you know, like if I'm going too crazy, it's just like think. So it's like you kind of telling yourself like not to, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
like
here.
tricking your mind. So yeah, but I combine like stretching and meditating and praying like all in one.
Yeah.
So it's like you know, and it just like recenter me because it's like you got to prepare yourself like regardless, no matter what, bullshit gonna come. Okay? I don't want nobody to think that like you gonna just wake up one day and the bullshit just gonna stop. And that's on every level.
Literally.
Like, and it's sometimes it's like you could have, you know, if it's been sunny for a while, best believe
it's finna rain on
at some point.
But you need, and that's what a lot of stuff, and it's even be hard to live in that though, because you gotta still have the bullshit to fertilize your soil. Because look at it, you need manure. Well, I said maneuver. You need manure for your soil to fertilize it. So you still got to have the bullshit.
So you appreciate it though too. But I'm saying like what you do is a lot of it, you know, a large percentage of it is reaction.
Yeah.
So if you know when you walk out your front door, sometimes when you wake up, the bullshit gonna be there, right? You can't control that. But only thing you control is yourself and how you react to it.
Yeah.
So who's really the fool? I don't want to say the fool, but it's like if you know that every time you walk past this place, this sound gonna go off or you gonna trip, right?
Yeah.
You gonna continue to get mad every time, even when you know it's coming. Like at some point, you gotta adjust what you do because you know it's coming. So I say like you really only got two options. Like if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your mindset about it.
Yeah, that's
it.
true. That's true.
That's like it's not easy, but it's simple.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like something, change it. Okay, all right, well, I can't. Or you can't. Well, change your mindset about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's it.
When did you get introduced to meditating?
When I moved, like, really when I moved to Cali. So that was probably, like, 2017. And that's kind of like when I took my little hiatus from radio for a minute and got off the grid and got off social media for a while.
Quit.
Yeah, like I got to a point where, man, I had one of them movie moments while I was in the club, and I mean, it's one of them.
Let's talk about that. Okay, yeah, get to that. Get to that.
Like it's like literally like, and I'm in DC, and it's a popping night. It's either like, I used to host this spot called Bliss every Saturday. It was either like Drake was there, or Future was there, one of them. I'm talking about it's going. I just had a moment where it's like everybody in the club disappeared, and it's like at this point it was far from empty. This shit was crazy. And I'm on stage, and I'm just like.
So you were working.
Yeah, I'm hosting, and it just came over me like, and it's like a lot of fake love, a lot of niggas coming up trying to rap.
You be like, don't touch me,
like, bruh, like you know, and it was like, why are you here, like that, and I'm like. I try to answer like, oh, I'm getting paid.
Right.
It's like, no.
Then it's like that answer sounds boo as fuck to yourself.
It's like, nah, bro, you good on that. So why you here? Like, and it's like ever since that, everything just start seeming like I'm trying to find more meaning in things that I'm doing all the time, and it's becoming less and less valuable to me.
Because the money's gonna come regardless.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm gonna always get it, you know.
Exactly.
And I'm always have what I need, and anything I want bad enough, I'm gonna get it.
Absolutely.
So, you know, that was like kind of when I knew I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do a year. I was like, this whole next year, I think I had like a year left on that contract. I was like, every amount of cash that I get, I'm putting up.
Yeah.
So like for the whole year, every little bread I got from hosting or features or whatever it is, stash the whole thing, because I wanted to just prepare myself for if I just did nothing. Time. Yeah, you know. And so I did that, and I ended up going out to Cali and getting off the grid for a minute. I encourage everybody to, like, you know, if you can, disconnect for however long. You got to do that, you know, take care of yourself. And because I first tried to meditate when I was in D.C., But I was like moving so much that like, cause I first one of the Russell Simmons books I was reading.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I know which one you're talking about. Was it the black or the white background?
One of them. Do you or
Yep.
one of them?
Yep. That was the book that got me on too.
Yeah. So
yep.
he was like talking about it. So I'm like, okay. So I tried.
Because he
like,
said 30 minutes. That shit
the
was
whole
long.
time I tried, even my little 10 minutes, I'm like looking at the clock.
Me too.
I'm like,
Me
okay.
too.
Am
And
I
it was
supposed
only
to,
2.5 minutes.
I'm like, like, you know, I'm just, I'm
I did it all wrong the first
I'm like
time.
faking
Shit.
it, you know. And so when I actually got to a point, it was like, oh, well, I don't have to be anywhere right now. That's when I really got into it and getting more spiritually tapped in and getting closer to God and just like, you know, realizing that in the stillness or in like just being able to organically sit somewhere a little longer, you get those moments. So that's when I started doing it. And then when I started doing it so much, I realized that like I couldn't go without it. Like I would have maybe I go 2-3 days. I'm like, I'm off. I'm like, damn, I ain't even meditate. Like, boom, recenter myself. Because it's like you need it. Because I used to have, like, when I was younger, I used to have, like, a short temper, you know, and automatically, like, oh, something go wrong, oh, hit the panic button.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, it just helped me with that. So, yeah, that's where I really got into it in Cali. I mean, I turned it, man, I was like,
I remember because you started locking your hair.
yeah,
I feel like during that
and
time.
I got up. I would get up every morning, run down to Santa Monica Beach. And
I love Santa Monica
yeah,
Beach.
that's my spot, man. And roll some good tree and just talk to God and write music and listen to the beach and just be appreciative for like everything that I've accomplished and also like prepare for what's to come. And really, so it's like I feel like every man at some point, and some people never do, which is unfortunate. Yeah. But every man has this shift where he goes from where he turns into a superior man, where he really knows his strength and really knows who he is, right? But the luxury of my situation where I kind of got to choose my time, like when I had that moment, it was like, okay, this is I didn't know that's what it was. Right. But when it was, but usually it happens like nigga get locked up or something.
Right. It's always takes something being taken from like you. That. You walked away.
Boom. Boom. So it's like I was fortunate, blessed enough to be able to like choose my time, even though I didn't know that's what I was choosing.
Exactly.
But yeah, but usually like for a man, it's like that shift happens. You don't get to choose. Like somebody close to you might die. You might get locked up. You know, you might face a near death experience or something like that, to where it's like, oh shit, like where you start to realize what really matters and what don't.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, that was my time, and I thank God for it. And now it's like, man, and also like. My mom beating breast cancer. It's certain things, you know, that like it's hard to get me upset now. Yeah, it's very difficult, like, you know, to get me to that space, because it's like I know what really means something. So like my mom and also this girl named Alex who was a fan of mine but became her family in DC. She was battling cancer too. Now she lost her fight.
Damn, I'm sorry.
Her and my mom are both going against a fight that statistically you gonna lose. If you look at the numbers,
especially for black women.
What you fighting right now, you in a fight that statistically you're gonna lose. So you wake up every day knowing it, and both of them attitudes just amazing, just bright. So I'm like, if you could wake up today and you facing something that can take you out today.
Your mama's so sweet.
Yeah, she an angel. She an angel. So I start looking at it like that, like, damn, if you could not be thrown off by something that could take you out
any second,
what I'm tripping off of, whatever go left, whatever, like, what am I really tripping off of?
Right.
What am I mad about when this person can be, you know? So when you start looking at stuff like that, man, you know, realizing what really matters. Just
it definitely does. It definitely makes you sit back, because I feel like, especially the industry, into the capacity, like when it comes to like radio, where it's like it's like TV. You know, it doesn't stop no matter what's going on. You still have to deliver a message. Itself. Yeah. No matter, you got to put your feelings to the side because you have to deliver a message. And what a lot of people don't realize is how much it does play a toll on you. And again, you've been doing it since the age of 12 years old.
And it made me different. I believe that too.
Absolutely.
It definitely made me different, like in multiple ways, just because, like, you know, with always being in the eye of people or open for criticism or open for, you know, whatever, it's like, sometimes, you know, you got to question, like, am I like naturally? Well, now I'm to a point where like, when you develop that, like, don't give a fuck mentality, like, that's amazing. So, like, I developed that, like, a few years ago, so now it don't matter to me. But, you know, when you see it in the industry with people who was raised in it, and, you know, it can be detrimental on you, and you gotta, and it's hard to hold on to self. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to hold on to self.
Especially when you have like endorsements and you have to, you know, you got to endorse this and you be like, hold on. We not even parallel here. Like, I don't even, and the money be good, but you be like, I don't even rock this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's certain, like a lot of the things I've endorsed have, like, you know, been relatable. Like I think the last show I did, like, I had 2 endorsements. One of them was Gold's Gym.
Okay.
Which,
of course. You know, it's Gold's Gym.
And the other one was Magnum Condoms.
Okay.
They said I had a live large lifestyle.
Well, we're going to leave that there. So there we go.
Which camera? Where my camera at?
Pow! Man. And then it's like with St. Louis, it's like, you know, being away, but then still hearing about all the crazy, grimy stuff that goes on. Yeah. And again, I know that had to like still kind of do something to you, especially if it was people who were close to you that had to go sit down for a while, right? Or who had to go lay down until you see them in the next life, you know? Yeah. So I can only imagine that it's like, especially when you were away doing you, and not that you were being selfish, because you still got to live your life for yourself. But it's like, did you ever feel like at a certain point with some things that were going on here in St. Louis that like I hate to say missed out on?
Yeah, for sure.
You do?
For sure. And that's
because how old were you when you left? You left really
19.
early. Yeah, you left early.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was definitely things, but I understood like that I was on another mission. And also like on top of that, inspiring people too, and being an example of like the possibilities. Like, you know, and not even more so that like, you can make it out, but just you can do what you want.
That's right.
You know, everybody feel like now, I had this conversation a lot. Hey, do you gotta leave to pop in the city? Like, do you gotta leave to make it? Well, first, if you're gonna ask that question, I gotta ask the question, like, what does making it look like to you?
Exactly.
Because success look different to everybody.
Yep.
So what does your success look like to you? And then, no, I don't feel like you gotta leave to make it. However, you do gotta go see some other shit.
You have to leave.
You gotta go see some other shit. Like, even if it ain't going to stay nowhere, you gotta go visit. Like,
and just get lost somewhere.
Yeah, and it's bigger than just like that don't just go for people from St. Louis. Like, wherever you from, if you've never been, one thing in common, every city that I've been to and lived in is somebody that's born and raised in that mud who's tired of it.
No matter how bomb that city
even
is.
in LA.
It's true.
Even in LA. You know what I'm saying? There's people like, man, I got to get out of here. I'm like, this is the
where
spot.
Everybody trying to go.
So it's like you gotta, whatever your normal is, man, you gotta switch up your routine. You gotta change your surroundings. You gotta change, you know, your atmosphere just to see what else it sparks. Yeah. And it inspires, because everybody who be like, man, if this city I gotta leave, you love it. That's why you gotta leave, because it's like, but you go grasp things and that spark things in you to be able to pour back into. You know, I stop people when they say, see, man, that's the problem. We don't got this. Oh, we don't? Create it.
Create it.
Like, it sound like a solution. You know, it sound like an open field for real.
Yeah. So you kind of led me to my next question. So being from St. Louis, right? Yeah. And sometimes you've been in cities where you be like, dang, it's popping here. It ain't like St. Louis. But have you noticed, though, it's something about being from St. Louis. You go to other cities and realize I'm that motherfucker deal. Like
a magnet.
I know, because people in other cities, it's like they don't have that same charisma. It's something about St. Louis.
We from the middle, man. It's a reason. Like, we can adapt to it. Like, that's one thing about it, man, we can adapt to it. And if you from St. Louis, you go somewhere else, you gonna fly. You gonna soar.
You are.
You gonna soar because it's like we know how to handle ourselves in so many predicaments in any room, to where somebody who might be from like a more privileged place, man, they wouldn't last here.
No, they would not.
You know what I'm saying?
They would not. And they be scared because basically based on like the news and stuff, like they think that they come to St. Louis and get got. But it's like, I mean, technically you kind of could.
I mean, you can, but if you don't know, like if you ain't hip, if you don't pay attention to your surroundings, see us, we know. We like, oh yeah, it's about to go down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
you can feel it. You can feel it. Like, oh, all right, y'all ready? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like us being prepared like that, man. And then so if you in a certain realm where you don't have to worry about that,
I'm really at my
we gotta damn near learn to cut some of that off.
I know. It's like, Megan, nobody's out here to get
Boom.
you. Relax,
Boom.
Megan. Nobody's out here
you
to
gotta-
relax,
yeah.
to mess you up. Just relax and enjoy the moment because you need to relax. With that being said, what stamp on your passport changed your life?
Maybe Jamaica.
Okay. Why did I know you were finna say that?
Yeah,
I was like,
man.
you finna say
I be
Jamaica.
out there, they be like, Ross.
Exactly.
Ross.
So I'm really not like an Instagram stalker. I swear I'm not. Okay.
I mean, you do your job.
Yeah, well, because when I was in radio at the time, I was working so much. I never had more than 2 days off. Ever. The most vacation that I had was 6 weeks when I went on maternity leave for each child. So I never got to travel, and I used to have to like live through people. As whack as it sounds, it's the truth. Okay,
man,
it's
do
the
it till you
truth.
can.
So I remember when you went to Jamaica, and you went. It was like, I want to feel like it was a while ago.
Yeah, like my first. I've been like 3-4 times.
Yeah, you've been
now.
a while, but I
Yeah.
remember when you first went, because I feel like that was the beginning when I started noticing your journey of
The switch up.
The
Yeah,
switch
the
up.
shift, yeah.
So let's talk about that, because I want to say, did you stay on a resort and you dipped off to go into?
Yeah, I went. We were staying at this spot. This was dope too. Like we had like a butler, all kind of stuff, man. It was dope.
I remember that. I swear I'm not a stalker.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
No, it was
listening
dope.
to
And what's
myself.
crazy is I was always one of them people like, vacation for what, man? I'm you know what I'm saying? Why would I go on vacation when there's money to get? Like
I
why?
know, right?
Like that's
'Cause the
how
money
it was.
just kept
you know?
coming.
But I ran into a special person who was like, kind of like hit me on balance. Like no, you gotta do this. So when you get back to it, now
You're recharged.
yeah, boom. So yeah, man, we went and then we went. Actually, before I went, my boy Face T, who from the DMV, he originally from Jamaica. He called his cousin. It's like, yeah, my man Shorty coming out there, show him a good time.
Show him a good time.
So they came
And showed you a damn good
What was so
time.
funny is like me. I hope I'm like, but whatever. I mean, I'm legal now, but like I don't go nowhere without it. Like I gotta have it with me, just
Okay.
because I'm not finna get there trying
You're
to call
St. Louis.
nobody.
It's okay. I get it. I get it. I
boom,
get it.
right? So when I was over there, and it's Jamaica, so as soon as you land,
I
they
think
got
of Billy in my mind.
yeah. As soon as you land, they trying to sell you something,
Of
right?
course.
Now the weed in Jamaica,
Is it green?
it's clean, right? So we got a lot of stuff that like makes you get higher.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But the weed in Jamaica, it's not like you ain't gonna smoke it and be like stoned, but it's like clean. That's why they ask to smoke that shit like cigarettes.
Okay.
Because it's just like clean. It's like it's not, it's
Interesting.
no chemicals in it, nothing like that. You smoke enough, you can get you there, but it's just like it's a nice little.
LaMelo.
But when I came, I had a couple, and dude was like, yo, man, he brought some from the States. You got the stash from the States, man. I'm like, you happy I brought some? Like, yeah, man. Like, they really, I
They
don't
like
know.
your weed, so
They
you were the
did.
weed man for a second.
Well, I wasn't the
Okay,
weed man,
okay.
I shared the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Shared the
Yeah.
wealth. But yeah, man, it was just dope. I feel like everywhere. Another one too was Brazil.
You've been to Brazil?
Yeah.
I am so jealous. Yo quiero
Yeah.
Barcelona de España. Muy mal. When I tell you, I don't know what it is. I've been that way since a little girl. It's something about Barcelona that I just have to experience. Where did you go?
I was in Rio de Janeiro.
Gosh darn it.
In Brazil, and I had in nephew, I went with like a group of friends, and it's like I went from like the most beautiful like sights, then I had like a scary experience. Like we got profiled
What
over
happened?
there. Man, we was like leaving the hotel, and the police out there like pulled our
Was it a
Uber
lot of
over.
black men?
It wasn't a lot.
Okay, got you.
Even though some of the way they like are their skin tone in Brazil, like it can look.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but yeah, the police come and now mind you, whole time I'm over there. Now, when I first got over there, I'm thinking they speak in Spanish, but it's Peruvian or it's
They speak Portuguese.
Portuguese. Portuguese. So I'm like, here I am trying to speak Spanish.
I know,
And
right?
that
I'd
shit
be
is-
the same way.
That
Like,
shit is like
hola.
that shit is like not connecting,
But they kind of are the same now.
it is similar.
It is similar.
It's similar,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I'm Google Translate everything. So
I'm
imagine,
hip. I did the same
so
thing.
imagine you get pulled over, and they pull the Uber over, and it's me and it's two of my boys, and like when they pull us out the car, like they got like guns on
Yeah.
us, and it's like
That's
and they
scary.
screaming in a language we don't understand.
So you don't want to make any.
So
type of
it's
sudden
like
move.
I'm like I don't even know if I want to get out the car, like, and they like run our pockets, and that was it. Like I had like a little pipe or something, like smelt it, like gave it back. Cause I'm like, yo, if I get locked up in Brazil, like, I don't know the next move. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't even know the country
I don't
code.
even know. I think they was just kind of, bothering us same way cops would over here, and then just like let us go. And then we ended up trying to go to some strip club, which ended up being a brothel. And shout out Brazil.
I'm done.
Shout out Brazil.
Oh, Lord.
Caipirinha.
Oh, Lord. You can leave. We'll leave that memory. That's for you and your boys.
I didn't even get ratchet. It was just an experience.
It sounds like it. So, like, now that, isn't it crazy how you can go across the world, but it still would be some of the same shit that happens here in the States happen to you as a black man over there. That's had to be crazy.
It was wild, though. It was wild, but it was like immediately, like fast forward an hour later, and we walk in this brothel. I'm like, dog, what?
Like my life is a movie. I swear it is.
Real talk, man. So it was dope, man.
And you creating like some major movements now, because let's talk about your second annual Give Black Ball. Okay, Thanksgiving.
Black Friday, man. We going.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, this is the second year we couldn't do it last year because of COVID.
I know.
Yeah, man, it's just a opportunity to just celebrate being black and beautiful, and also like give back to a black-owned organization, which is Black People Who Hike this year. Shout out to Deb, they doing their thing. Y'all make sure y'all follow Black People Who Hike. But first year we did BPLR, rest in peace to Q, Born Poor, Live Rich. Yeah, so it's an opportunity for you as a woman be able to pull that dress out, that gown out. You know what I'm saying? Like really, really get to it, put some heels on, and ladies be looking amazing, and for fellas, clean up, put that suit on.
That's right.
Real. And we got of course the live band experience. We got open bar, buffet style dinner, and it's just like we celebrating life and making it almost to an end of another year, and recognizing black excellence. And it's one of them things that like everybody from like the first year, my little sister and her friends had a table, and she 25, and my parents and them had a table.
Gosh darn it, she's 25.
Yeah, man. So it's it's a wide range of just beauty and just celebration, man. So I want to get it to the point, because I don't know why Mo don't do the black and white ball no more.
Right.
But
I wonder why.
Yeah, but I see that, I see the Give Black Ball getting to that point, and even more where people like coming in town for it. Because I mean, it's people coming in town this year for it, but even like other artists and stuff like that. I want to get it. I want to definitely get it to that point, man. So we on year number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we on year number 2, man. It's gonna be dope.
And I like that you're giving the proceeds to black men who hike, or is it black
people?
Well,
black people who hike.
Got you.
Yeah.
When was the first time you hiked?
When I went to Cali. Yeah.
So Cali really changed your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cali. It got to a point in Cali, I was probably like twice a week, maybe 3 times a week.
Okay.
Like going out there. And I mean, sometimes, shout out my girl Kat, sometimes, we going out Malibu and we scaling some, we on some real mountains. Like, oh shit, if it goes
don't look down type shit.
Yeah, like, we really, but I didn't, it's crazy. It's like it was something I would do. And then I think about it afterwards, like, nigga, you was kind of tripping. Like,
I know. That's how I feel about kayaking.
Oh, for real?
You went? Yeah, I love kayaking.
For real?
Yeah,
kayaking is like the paddle.
Yes, it's with the paddle. And if you turn to the right, then you need to push on the left. If you want to turn left, you need to push the right.
Right.
But being on the river, cause like low key, and people can say what they want, okay?
What?
I don't know how to swim. I know how to look cute and swim.
How
you know
go
what I mean?
Kayaking, you don't know how to swim.
I know, that's my point. Megan type shit, right?
Okay.
Megan shit. Megan
but
does.
you be having your little life jacket on.
So I didn't.
Okay.
It was messing up my tan, so I was like, I didn't want to wear. I know.
So fuck life, forget living.
But after after my kayak tipped.
Yeah.
And after that, I started wearing my
life jacket.
Yeah. I haven't been kayaking since. I said I'm gonna take a break the rest of the season. But I feel like it'd be moments like that, like for black people. I don't know about you watching, but I know for me, I've never even camped outside.
Oh yeah.
I've never, done any of the hiking. I've never kayaked. I've never done any of that
until
a few years ago. You know what I mean?
And when you think about it, I show like anytime like before I went hiking or like jumping out of plane or stuff like that.
That's what I want to do so bad. I want to skydive.
Yeah, it was great. It was.
I know. I saw that on your Instagram
it was a great experience. But like before I do that, I would just be thinking like, man, I'm from the south side of St. Louis.
Hello.
Like, I'm here. I gotta do it.
You gotta do shit now. You done already paid for it. You up there.
I'm here. Like, it's a lot of people who, from where I'm from or places like where I'm from who won't ever
Never
get
in
this
their wildest
experience.
dreams.
Yeah, so I gotta do it's bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, and even like stories to tell. And even after I did like the skydiving thing, like man, it inspires
Didn't it
so
feel
many
so good,
people
though?
to like, yeah.
Were you scared? Like, okay, so did you tell me this? Because I really am trying to have the experience. So when I
Okay.
get ready to go, y'all don't understand. I know I'm gonna do it one day. Okay,
gotta
so
do
when
it.
you go up there, do they pull the string or do you pull the string?
He pulled the parachute. So it's like you go now. I was the last person to get on the plane, so I was the first one to jump.
Damn.
Which is kind of crazy, you know.
I know,
but
right?
So he's like, you go up. So I jumped out 10,000 feet.
Shit.
So like you go up, and I'm sitting by the door like
Were you nervous?
I didn't get nervous until like right before. Like that's how I am with like stage and everything. Like,
So when you get
those
nervous,
few
like-
seconds before, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, come on, I'm just ready. It's more like anxious.
Did your stomach get like real tight? Like, do you have to boo boo or anything like that?
No,
Like, is
just-
it be like that? Like, did you?
It's more. It's not a tight. It's more like an emptiness.
Okay,
It's more like,
emptiness.
okay, like come on, like I guess
Okay.
like butterflies or something like that, you
Yeah.
know. But yeah, it's like you fly up 2,000 feet, they open the door. I'm like, oh, this ain't bad. Here we go, they close it. I'm like, shit, okay.
Stop. You going up
Then we
more.
get up to about 8,000. I'm like, all right, here we go.
You started looking like in the airplane. It was like everything was like squares.
And then like close that mug
Shit.
again, and then it's like it's so loud. Like when they open the thing, like
Oh, I
shit.
can't wait.
You know, but it goes from matter of fact, when I heard Will Smith explain it, that's kind of what made me want to do it.
Okay.
But he was just saying how, and it's true. Like it go from like a high moment of fear instantly to like exhilaration.
Yes, I believe
Like
it.
you jump out. My favorite part of it was like the free fall.
Yeah.
Like before he pulled the parachute, I'm just like,
That's the
oh.
part. That's the part I want before.
Yeah.
Because you just be like flying like a bird.
And it's like when he pulled a parachute, because like it sounds like loud or it's like, oh, when you jumping. But when he pulled a parachute, it's so quiet,
Is it?
like in the sky, like literally, like how we talking right now. You could talk like this.
Stop. You would think it would be so loud where you got to yell. Why is that?
Soon as you, I guess when you free falling like the wind, but when you pull that parachute and you just kind of gliding
It
down,
slows everything
it's
down.
quiet. It's like dead quiet. Like we didn't have to yell or nothing. We talking just like this.
Really? I wouldn't
Yeah.
even want to talk. I'd be like, don't talk to me. Just let me have my moment real
Yeah,
quick.
it was dope, man. We're just looking out. Only thing he did that tripped me out, like, he's like, you pull this way to go left, pull this way to go right. And when he was showing me, I guess he thought we was having fun.
I'm cracking
So the
up.
nigga like pulled this way and was like, and I hate spinning. Like I'm not,
Okay,
I don't like
okay.
spinning. So he doing, I'm like, hey, I don't like that.
Yeah.
No, I told him I don't like that. Don't do that shit. So.
That's that south side. Leave
Yeah,
my shit
hey,
regular.
I don't
You know
like
what I
that,
mean?
bro. No, you can show me how to do it. I don't like no spinning stuff, you know. But yeah, came down, landed, and it's like I envision myself landing safely.
Okay.
I already knew it. Like that's usually what make me do stuff. Like if I want to do something, I can envision myself on the other side.
That's right.
So before I went skydiving, I was like, oh, I can see myself landing safely and being like, hell yeah.
So you didn't have any scuffs on your pants or anything like that? Like you landed on your feet?
No, I was in all white too.
Okay, you ain't had no scuffs.
Had my BPLR on.
I'm
You know what I'm
hollering.
saying?
So were
Yeah.
other people like falling, like rolling when they landed? Like, because I know I'm like that. Like, okay, I need to land cool. Like, I'm Megan Kathleen motherfucking O'Donnell. Like, I got,
Okay.
you know what I mean? I got to
Okay.
land cool because I know it's going to be recorded.
Yeah, no, like you, like he, like I had my like legs up, and then like as soon as we hit the ground, I just kind of like walked into it because I did hear people say, "Oh, you gonna fall?" No, I like landed on my feet,
Okay.
threw my hands
I'm
up.
finna
You
be
know,
the same motherfucker.
you damn
way.
right.
I
Claim
see
that.
it coming. I
Claim
see
that.
it coming.
Straight up, man. Yeah, claim
So
that.
you've done some big legendary shit, and you've done some big legendary shit here in St. Louis. The
Yeah.
fact that you created a festival all
Yeah.
based on an idea
Yeah.
before anybody else, everybody else following suit, okay?
Yeah.
Everybody else following suit, and you know I ain't lying. I'll
Yeah.
say it for you.
Yeah.
So City Foundry, how
Yeah.
did you get in here?
Well, I got a shout out to one. I got to shout out Bianca,
Okay.
who's also well, I call her Queen B, but B of We Are Root Mind. It's a band, but she was like kind of like the plug there, and I linked with my boy Eric Hubbard, and Mike, and my bro Kilo. So it went from. So they hit me up because like, oh, we got a plug at the Foundry. Come on. So I'm
Okay.
like, all right. So they hit me up, but originally they was just trying to do like a day party or something. It was like inside.
Okay.
But it was like a stage, and
And it felt
I
good.
immediately like saw the stage. I'm like, yo, but the stage went outside. I was like, yo, we need to do something on here. Like I'm not even thinking about nothing else they think about.
Of
I done
course.
zoned out. I'm like, nah. So then that's when I linked up with Drew with J-Mo Presents. Shout out to Drew, that's my dog. And he was like, yeah, we gonna actually have this stage set up outside. Come the time y'all trying to do something. And I
Sweet.
was like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, we having a festival.
Yeah.
like we doing this, like we gonna get another headliner, like we doing it, like this what we gonna do, we gonna have event, and it's like everything just start flowing. We literally like put it together like 30 days.
I remember you saying
and,
that.
yeah, everything just started flowing, and man, it was a beautiful thing. So City Foundry, like everybody like who was involved was just like tremendous, man. I got to shout out Stacy and Danielle and see all my black women warriors who, you know what I'm saying, assisted and help it move forward and help keep it together, because y'all, you know, y'all pay attention to detail.
Yeah, definitely the details.
Yeah, definitely
you already
the detail,
know.
you know, so but it was just dope, man, and it's definitely something we're going to do every year, Memorial Day weekend, and to have, you know, myself headline along with Murphy Lee, the legendary St. Lunatics. It was just dope, man. Everybody we had no incidents.
I know. When I tell you I was out of town, I was so hurt. I was so hurt that I could not make it. But it's like when I tell you, again, I was living through Instagram. I was like, let me get this hashtag and look at everybody.
Yeah.
You did that. All y'all did that. Because it was one of the first events that was open back up
after COVID. Yeah, for sure.
And people were ready to be outside.
It was. And it was a beautiful day. And it was St. Louis at its finest.
It was.
It was St. Louis at its finest. And that just gave me, so to be honest, that's one of out of everything we talked about, whatever, that's one of the biggest things I've ever done out of my career.
Really?
Because it wasn't me fitting into a role or like playing my role.
I can see that. You created the role.
It's me taking this, a brainchild, and it being a part, and it's something that like we did this, as opposed to like fitting in the mold of somebody else's idea.
We need Shorty to host this. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So that's definitely one of my biggest accomplishments.
Yeah, high five to you.
Well,
that's what's up.
Air five.
I know, right?
Air five.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like you always would do your pop-up experiences.
Yeah.
And as soon as I go in there to get my tickets, should be
Sold out.
sold out. And I promise I don't want to be that person that'll call like, so
I mean,
can I get on your list?
But I get it.
No, I mean, I feel you, but it's like your phone I already know, be going crazy. So I just be like, all right, I'm going to get the next one. Then as soon as you release the next one, those tickets are gone. Because I feel like it is. And I feel like that is the importance of, you should pay. I know I could call and get on your list all day. That's not a problem. But at the end of the day, that's why I feel it's important to support artistry at its finest. You know, it's something where y'all got to eat. Everybody got to eat out here. And you are out there and you're giving your all, like, and you're giving your most vulnerable self. And that's when you're on stage. Because again, we know you as starting off at 12 years old.
Right.
I mean, the outside world know you as whatever you put out.
Right.
But here in St. Louis, we know you as Shorty Da Prince, 12 years old, on 100.3 The Beat.
Facts.
So it's like, to be able to support you and to pay. You know, I feel like that's definitely important.
And
because
people being able to grasp on like who I am now, and like, you know, because everybody like, anybody who remembers Shorty from 100.3 The Beat, nobody's the same person that they was.
No, they weren't back then.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Nobody is. So it ain't just acknowledgement of my growth. It's acknowledgement of you growing as, you know, whatever it is going on in your life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's so dope, because a lot of my fans was my peers. You know, so it's like we've grown together. Yeah.
That is so true. We have grown together.
Man. So now it's like a thing. It's like now, you know, a lot of people come now, you know, are business owners and mothers and fathers and all these
business
things.
professionals and everything.
Man. So it's just beautiful to see. It's bigger, like that's why I always call it the live experience, because it's bigger than just me performing.
It is.
It's like a space where it's a lot of people come to the experiences, don't go out and stuff, you know.
Do the ratchet ass hoes be there?
I mean, they everywhere.
They are. And I still got that song when you sent it to me. It's still in my email. I be pulling it out. Oh, ratchet ass hoes. But I like the remix. That's the one that I have.
Part
when
two?
You sent part 2.
Yeah, part 2.
I love part 2.
Reggie loved that one. That's
that's
like,
my
all right,
favorite.
now you do it. They got that old school.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one. That's the one. You be singing ratchet ass hoes.
Yeah.
Live on the was it live on the live or live on landing?
Oh, lot on the.
How did you get there?
Lot on the landing.
How did that happen?
That was another connect with J-Mo.
Okay.
Drew. Yeah, man. So he's been very instrumental in like you know, partnering up and bringing some of that different, because you know he got a whole different crowd that he like caters to. So it's like when we teamed up, I always tell him, I'm like, yo, like when we do these things, like this not shit we used to,
right?
You know, so people coming, like people gonna come.
Oh, they gonna come. You know, St. Louis want that different shit.
Yeah, it's different, bruh. So it's like, you know, he always we and him have developed a good relationship, and we just talk and come up with something. The last thing, why I did the Talib Kweli show at the Lot of London, but then we also did the Fallback, which was like something we put together in a couple weeks because we had an open date and people came out, man. It's like now it's to a point where like people know, and I'm proud of that because it hasn't been a long time since I've been doing it, but people know what they gonna get when I do something.
That's right.
You know, they know the way they gonna feel. They know the experience. They know it's gonna be secure.
Yep.
They know that you can come and just be yourself.
And walk away different than the way they walked in.
For sure. And it ain't no, you have to do this. It's whatever, man. It's come as you are. It's bring your love, bring your energy, like, and they give it back. You know?
Yeah. So tell me, with all of that you explained and, creating these ideas and birthing them and trusting the process, why is it important for you and for the viewer that's watching to bet on themselves?
Because who else gonna bet on you?
Come on now.
I mean, who else gonna bet? Like, ain't nobody gonna believe it if you don't. And then especially now, like the days of like waiting on somebody to discover you and put you on.
Yeah.
Nah, not gonna happen because there's too many people doing it on their own. So the same people who used to put people on or whatever, they damn near looking for a break. Like they damn near like, all right, who putting their cell phone so I can attach myself to it?
Yeah.
Because it's different now. So you gotta bet on yourself. Like ain't nobody else gonna do it, and you gotta believe like wholeheartedly, like go in, because what's crazy is you can have an idea, and it don't sound crazy until you trying to tell somebody.
I know.
You know?
Yes.
Like that's when it sounds crazy. That's when you get to question yourself. Like, well, did I really want to? Yeah, you did.
You did.
That's what you wanted
you
to
thought
do.
the shit,
but
so
now
you want to
since
do
somebody, like no, because like I said, ain't no right or wrong, man. So you take it a lot, and a lot of that is gonna make people follow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are followers.
Hey, he is speaking all
They're what they are.
Facts.
Like people are followers. Like you ever go to the club? This as many like showcases and stuff that I would host.
Yeah.
With like artists or even be a part of. 90% of the time, the person who's going to win is the person who has the most people.
Always.
It ain't about the best song all the time.
No.
So, because what happens is, I come and do my song, I got 20 people, all 20 people rocking. People going to be like, damn, what's that? Yep. I feel left out.
I feel left out.
What is that?
Yes, it's power in the numbers.
Yeah, so it's like, you got to move like that because people going to follow what you believe in, and then what your people. So all you got to do is get that core, and you roll with that, and you keep building with that. Eventually, people gonna be like, "What's that?
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, okay, put me on." You know what I'm saying? Like,
channeling that, and switching that fear. Because I'll be honest, I know something for me is like sometimes I'll be having to shut fear down. Yeah. Because I am an overthinker. So sometimes I will think about da-da-da-da-da-da, and I just won't do the shit. And so I'll have it to where it'll be like, Megan, can you quit overthinking it and just be fucking you? And I'll be like, you know what? You're right, Megan. What the fuck, bitch? You know you can do this. So no, for real, I be having to get my life together. Yeah. So before we close out, because I cannot help but to notice your bomb-ass outfit, okay?
Oh, really?
But accented with your necklace. What kind of stone do you have? What kind of crystal are you rocking today?
These is St. Louis design. Shout out Supernova Rocket.
Okay.
So these are actually like 3 different ones. I got green Prehnite.
Okay.
I got pyrite, and I got
I
yellow
love
quartz.
pyrite. I have that.
Yeah, man. So the green Prehnite is actually like a love stone. And when he originally was gonna make me some, he's like, yeah, man, I got this love. I was like, man, I don't want no damn love stone, man. I'm like, he's like, you need it. He's like, I'm gonna put you some other ones on there, but you need it, man. So I'm like, yeah. So I mean, it would just be open to receive it and give it out and let it flow. And I love it. I love it because when I do wear it, it's a conversation piece.
It is.
So people say, do it work or is the energy? It's like, look, naturally, just all people asking about it and me talking about it, it works.
Yeah.
Because I'm forced to be reminded of what I got on me.
Yeah, because it's representing you.
Yeah, man.
And I think that a lot of times when people start to learn about it, because think about it, once upon a time we were that person, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
where we were completely foreign, where you'd be like, where do I start? How do I believe?
Because we ain't live long enough.
I know.
Yeah, you live long enough, you gonna start
believing in it. You gonna start believing in it. I know that I am definitely excited for everything that you have coming up. You know, I am so grateful to be able to call you and to be able to have this conversation. I'm very grateful for the fact that you came on here and was transparent to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to talk about different things that you never have, and I appreciate it, and I hope that you do too. And more than anything, I just am so glad to be here on your journey and to see everywhere that you're going. It is an honor to be able to say I fucking know you. You know what I mean? So
no, man, I appreciate you.
No, for real, because everybody here in St. Louis, we were rocking for you when you were away. We were rocking for you when you were on 106 in Park. We were rocking with you when you were on your project with Wale. We were on hiking trips with you here in St. Louis, and we're gonna always ride for you because you've always shown us what the world is out there for us to go grab and to also go on our journey and to learn and to allow ourselves to be vulnerable and grow as well. So I appreciate you coming here on Hello Meghan O.
I appreciate you, man. You know, I've been part of your journey too, and I love it. I love that, you know, you don't never throw in a towel. You always just unapologetically you. And that's why it's going to, you know, flow to you, because you just keep being you. It's going to flow, and I just love it, man. I love how you don't water down who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So I'm glad that God chose to have our paths cross.
Same.
And, you know, shit been G since forever.
Forever.
To us, like, hotboxing bathroom at the motherfucking restaurant.
We got in trouble. We used to get in trouble for hotboxing in the parking lot.
We was hotboxing in there at the restaurant.
They straight told us, because remember the security told on us. It was me, you, and Tony J. And and silly ass, and
Yeah, man. Hey, man, you know, shit. What you gonna do? Not get hot? No.
Not at all. My shift was over. With that being said, Shorty, thank you for coming on. Reggie's son, it was a pleasure having you here. Yeah. Thanksgiving, because I want to say it's the 26th.
It's Black Friday, yeah.
The 26th.
The day after Thanksgiving. So you eat good on Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You goddamn get some good sleep.
That's right.
You wake up, you eat some leftovers, you know, and then
don't eat too much because you got food there.
Then you're going to be ready to jam for real. You're going to be able to come out and you know, So, Black Friday we going up, and then we got, I'm going to try to drop this EP before the end of the year and then the album next year. So y'all just, if you ain't never heard nothing, go search Reggie's Son on anything you listen to music on, Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, all that stuff, man. Reggie, Space Son, all that, man.
All that. And make sure y'all support him, because there's no way, if you can support me, you got to support my home skillet. I'm just saying, it's only right. You know what I mean? It's one of St. Louis's finest, Shorty, a.k.a. Reggie's son, a.k.a. Jordy. Whatever you want to say, just put some respect on his motherfucking name, all right? Put some respect on it.
You know?
Most importantly, like I said, follow him, show him some love, and the best part of showing somebody some love is supporting him on his journey, because I'm telling you, what you put out is what you receive. Boom. So thank you for joining us tonight on Hello Meghan O. Shout out to Media Outlaws for always making the lights look good, making the mic sound nice. Shout out to Hio Sound.
My mic sounds nice.
There we go. Hey, that's my favorite line. 1, 2, 3, and we're out. Check it out. See ya.